How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific 3 Eastern, Sundays 3 Pacific 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Wednesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about. AW Dynamite's 6th anniversary coming up tonight. We'll preview that show. A lot of matches. We got 6 things announced for the show. It's a 2.5-hour show, so we'll tell you about that here today. We have got last night's NXT, a horrific show, leading to what is no longer being called Invasion, but is now being called Showdown. And we'll tell you why. We've also got some notes on Luchasaurus and his battle with pneumonia, AW and DC Comics doing a crossover series, Raw on Monday. Whatever you think of math and formulas or whatever, the number that Netflix announced for Raw Monday is an all-time low. So, of course, this was going to happen during football season, but not a good number for Raw on Monday. And we got a lot of other news as well. In the final segment of the show, we'll be joined by an old friend, Mr. Thomas, which is ironic because Thomas Lawler is also going to be joining us on the program today as we run down all of this. If you're not a subscriber to WrestlingObserver.com, you should be. WrestlingObserver.com, video.f4wonline.com, f4wonline.com/Apple, or f4wonline.com/Spotify, because I'm not going to have time to say everything that I want to say about NXT. That'll be on the Bryan and Vinny Show Thursday for subscribers. But I'll do as much as I can here today. It's just such a bad show. And also, we had the debut yesterday of 20 years ago on TNA Impact. The Spike TV debut. We'll be doing it every Tuesday, following along week by week the alleged glory years of TNA. And that show was a million times better than last night's NXT. Tom joins us after the break. Back in a moment. Observer Live. If you love this show, you should consider signing up at WrestlingObserver.com. WrestlingObserver.com has every show that we have ever done. Over 15,000 podcasts in the archives, dating back to 2005. Searchable by show, searchable by year. Perhaps the first show you ever watched was 2008 WrestleMania? Well, you can head into the archives and you can find the podcast we did, all built around the 2008 WrestleMania. Every major show, whether it be WWE, AEW, we covered it all. 15,000 archived shows at WrestlingObserver.com. Also, when you subscribe, you get full access to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. There's a new Observer every Friday. And on top of that, we have thousands and thousands of archived issues of the Observer dating back to 1991. So again, WrestleMania 2008. Go to the archives, search WrestleMania 2008, read all of the issues surrounding that show. Of course, Wrestling Observer newsletter, 40,000 words of news and information on pro wrestling and mixed martial arts every single week. New issue comes out every Friday. New back issue comes out every Monday. You also get the discussion board. One of the best discussion boards on the internet. It's members only. If you're going to troll, well, you got to pay to troll, and there aren't too many of those. And if you cause too much trouble, you're out of there. So if you want a great place to discuss professional wrestling, it is the board. Also available as a subscriber at WrestlingObserver.com. The whole package, all of the new shows, all of the archived shows, all of the new issues of the Observer, all of the archived editions of the newsletter, all of the past episodes of Wrestling Observer Radio, Wrestling Observer Live, The Bryan and Vinny Show, Figure 4 Daily, Filthy 4 Daily, The Board, all of it, just $14.99 per month. The full shebang, and you can save a lot of money getting an annual subscription. A full year, you basically get 2 months free. So check it out, WrestlingObserver.com, everything you'll ever need as a fan of professional wrestling. Check it out today, f4wonline.com. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here. Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom Lawler is joining us here today.
Mr. Thomas Lawler.
Mr. Thomas is later. Mr. Thomas is here now. We got two Mr. Thomases here on the show today. Tom, please don't waste time. We got to talk about it.
Well, let's get right into it.
Oh, we will. Brother, this NXT show is off the rails. This show was so stupid last night. It defies... oh my God. I thought that the invasion, the famous WCW, WWF invasion, was just about the stupidest invasion I've ever seen. They have now topped it with what is no longer, by the way, it is no longer the invasion.
No.
Because there were, actually a whole bunch of articles came out, I think it was Monday. A lot of fans in Israel were upset about the usage of the term invasion.
Yeah. Netanyahu said, "This don't work for me, brother."
And they, at first I just heard, at first people started sending me the articles. They said, "You think anything's going to happen?" And I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. And then all of a sudden they started sending me you realize that nowhere on WWE.com does it say invasion anymore. And I went up there and in fact, all of the previews for next week's show just referred to it as the big show. And then... And then, Ava, when she did her original announcement of Invasion, they had that up there on Twitter, and the video was gone.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, why would you think it's an invasion? Santino made it quite clear. Haven't you been watching the show? They've been working together for years.
Well,
this is a showcase. Oh, perhaps a showdown.
Well, they changed the name. They've now trademarked Showdown. After they trademarked Invasion about a week ago.
And when everybody at the end of the show from the other show showed up in a vehicle to
invade.
They
invaded the prior week as well. Yeah, it's stupid. But it is not the stupidest thing that happened on this show. So we got to go back a little ways. On the PLE this weekend, Ava said, after that invasion... this past Tuesday on NXT, I met with Santino Marella, and we spoke for hours, she said.
Hours.
They spoke for hours to figure out what to do about this.
Hours.
And they came up with the idea of this, what was it then called, the Invasion pay-per-view. And she said it would be 2 Survivor Series matches for the men and the women, and they would choose the teams on Tuesday. So, the story, which they never tell, but it is the story, is that Ava is a Gen Z Nepo child who is absolutely lazy and never wants to do any work. And literally, after all that time, she shows up on Tuesday and literally doesn't even have captains. The show opens with Ricky Saints coming out. He's interrupted by JC Jane. They kind of argue back and forth a little bit, at which point Ava comes out and says, "You know what? You two are the captains. Now you two go choose teams." I was like, this is like the greatest and most obnoxious character in all of wrestling, this Ava character. So now they're in charge of figuring out, well, who's on the NXT teams, okay? So then Santino shows up, all right? Now, before we get into what Santino announced, let's just remind you that the entire reason that TNA invaded NXT was because on the Grayson Waller show, Grayson Waller said, "I'm going to make a match. Trick Williams and
Oba
Femi are going to wrestle for the TNA and NXT titles in a title versus title match, winner takes all." That resulted in all of the TNA talent going on Twitter and saying, "We are sick of NXT wrestlers holding our belts. We're sick of NXT wrestlers representing TNA. Something needs to be done about it." and then they invade. So knowing that, would anybody like to guess who Santino chose as the captain of his women's TNA team? He chose an NXT woman holding a TNA title. It's dumb enough. Like, they did this during the original invasion, the WWF, WCW invasion. It's dumb enough that someone from the other side is on the other team. That's stupid enough. But literally, they chose someone from the other side with one of the belts, which is why the other side was angry in the first place. Kalani Jordan, NXT wrestler Kalani Jordan, who is the TNA Knockouts champion, is the captain of Team TNA. Now, if that isn't dumb enough, the Knockouts champion, who is actually an NXT wrestler, is the captain of the TNA team, but the NXT wrestler, who is the TNA men's champion, is actually on the NXT team as the TNA champion. I'm done. You take over.
Well, at least in the case of Trick Williams, Brian, it makes sense, right? It makes sense that he would stay on NXT's side. He's not a TNA guy. I agree with you wholeheartedly about Kalani Jordan being the captain of Team TNA. And not only, if we can jump to the end, not only is Kalani Jordan, NXT roster member, TNA Knockouts champion, the captain of Team TNA, when you look at the makeup of the rest of Team TNA, it's laden with NXT influence, WWE up and down. She chooses the TNA Knockouts tag champions. She even calls them the Iconics, the Inspiration, who are best known for being in WWE, being in NXT previous to that. And then in the final slot for the women's team for TNA, who would you choose? Now, Brian, she had already been called out earlier, and I want to say, out of all the bad stuff I saw on this show, JC Jane was a bright spot to me. I thought her promo work was good in the face of a bad story. I thought she held it together. She even said, why are you on that team? You've been TNA Knockouts champion for what? Like 10 seconds? And,
except I don't even know why she's mad. All this does is guarantee that a team captained by an NXT woman wins no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter if the TNA team wins. It was so clear when they did this thing right here, what's going on and who's winning all of these matches.
Oh, well, we didn't even get to who the last person is, Brian, on that team. Jakara Jackson.
Yes.
A.K.A. Mara Sade, who's just shown up in TNA. Last month, I believe. So I'm done. Take over.
All right, I'll be happy to. So the men's team, I mean, it was so obvious what happened when they announced these matches. It was like, okay, it's so stupid, but it's so stupid because their ego, the WWE side's ego is like so big that we have to book this way to make it 50-50. So basically, the women's team, Team NXT, is JC, Soul, Jada, and Lola. And the TNA team is Kalani, an NXT wrestler, the Inspiration, former WWE wrestlers, and Mara Sade, former NXT wrestler. So now the NXT team can lose because they're losing to former WWE stars and an NXT wrestler.
We're all losing.
Whereas with the men, Team TNA is all TNA. They're effed. They're losing for sure. So then we can split it. The NXT men win. The NXT women lose. So stupid. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
Happy birthday, dear Granny.
Happy birthday, Granny. Happy 95th birthday.
Thank you.
You got balloons behind you as well, Vinny. People can't really see them.
No.
They think it might just be your hump. But it's a very festive
I
day
should not
today.
laugh at that. That's a horrible insult that you just gave
Yeah,
me.
you laughed. It was a good one.
But it was funny.
Happy birthday!
Okay.
Happy birthday, Granny.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I don't even know what you just said. Okay, go.
Bye.
Bye, girls. Close the door, please. Rob Wanska, a top fan. That granny is one of a kind. If you cannot see that, you're blind. Whether she's knitting a quilt or giving Brian some guilt, she's the greatest old gal that you'll find.
Who was that?
Producer
That was
Rob.
Rob.
Producer Rob?
Yeah.
Fine
like
job,
that.
Rob.
He has talent?
Thank you,
For him.
Rob.
Wow.
This is Mariah May versus Anna J. Anna has a problem. Her top seems to want to drop down. She has to keep pulling it up. Mariah pins Anna for the win. I think Anna just gave up due to the fact that her wardrobe was malfunctioned.
That's what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if they wore decent clothes, it'd be better. Those T-straps are ridiculous.
Those what?
T-straps. Don't you know what a T-strap is?
No, I do not know what a T-strap
I don't think
is.
there's a T-strap in Brian's closet, Granny.
No.
I don't know.
T-strap. Oh, a thong? Why don't you say a thong?
A what?
Never mind. You don't know what a thong is?
No.
Why are we having this conversation?
What part of the body is it on?
Does it go on the
woman.
top or the bottom?
On your
Butt?
butt. Yep.
Okay.
Granny had to be very careful. So it's a thong.
Why are we having this conversation?
According to the Old Testament of the Bible, who is the father of both Isaac and Ishmael?
Job.
Abraham.
Wrong.
Oh, really?
Abraham.
I just.
Did you say that?
Yes, he
I'm so-
did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear you.
Well, Granny, I hope you had a happy birthday today.
I had to.
Hey, we got a special present for you. You are officially being inducted, yes, into the Hall of Awesome.
It's about time.
Yes. You know what that is,
Oh,
Granny?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want everybody to see this. How can I show it?
Clearly, Granny is really excited about being inducted into the Hall of Awesome. She's busy showing off her trophy.
Is that an old gray mare trophy?
It's got a horse on it for some reason. So the full card for this showdown is Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, the TNA champion on Team NXT, Miles Bourne and Javon Evans, against Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater.
Two good teams,
Two good teams.
I would say.
Although
Not as
that
good.
Team
those
TNA
teams-
has no chance whatsoever.
Those teams are not as good as the best team I've ever seen in my life, which was Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
Yeah.
Just
Just give
put
them some
them
time.
together.
though. Just give them some time. It's
let
okay.
them fight each other for this X Division title. Then put them together. Have them beat the Hardys for the tag titles after the Hardys beat Dark State, and then put them up on the main roster and have them win all the tag titles up there.
They
well.
might be able to beat the Hardy's kids when they break into wrestling. Although I guess they might be too young as well. But did I mention, by the way, that Leon Slater is actually younger than Javon Evans? And he's not only a champion in TNA, but he headlined the PLE they had on Friday.
You did mention that on Monday.
Because they don't have a bunch of
actually.
old people who are blinded by the reality that these two guys were the two most over guys on the entire show last night. They had the best match of anyone on the show. They had the best match I've ever seen the Culling have. They had the best crowd reactions. And, like, nobody else was even close. But, you know, we got to hear that they need some time. Just give them a few years. It'll be all right. Then the NXT Survivor Series match. Team NXT is JC Jane, Sol Ruka, Jada, and Lola against Team TNA, which is Kalani Jordan of NXT, The Inspiration, formerly of WWE, and Mara Sade, formerly of NXT. So they can at least win politically.
Yeah, Brian. So that's the team they chose. They could have chosen, let's see, Danny Luna, Harley Hudson, Heather by Elegance, Jada Stone, Jody Threat, Kylan King, Killer Kelly, M by Elegance, Mila Grace, Mila Moore, Rosemary.
Yeah, they had options.
They had options that have never been in WWE before. Alicia Edwards.
Well,
Zaya
that team
Brookside.
needs to win so they can 50-50 it. So we had to have the former WWE stars and the NXT champion on that team. Then we got Dark State versus the Hardys. And, of course, the Hardys are the Hardys, and so they can politically win that match. And then, of course, Ethan Page will defeat Mustafa Ali. They had a good segment last night. That was like the only good thing on the show besides the Javon match with Leon Slater. But, yeah, that's Showdown next week. Head-to-head with Dynamite. I mean, Dynamite's pretty much got no chance because they're on an unfamiliar night, and NXT's on the CW.
You've never heard of Tuesday before?
It's unfamiliar for Dynamite, Tom. Don't be an idiot. But they do have a show tonight, which is they got a lot of matches. It's the 6th anniversary show. It's 2.5 hours. Moxley, Claudio, and Daniel Garcia versus Hangman Page, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Statlander and Darby Allin versus Marina and Wheeler. Kyle Fletcher versus Orange Cassidy, the return of Jurassic Express. Kenny Omega and Brodito versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. And Tony Storm appears. So at the very least, the Young Bucks should pin either Bandito or Brody to set up a tag team title match because next week is supposed to be Title Tuesday. So we have to have at least, I would hope, a title match on that show. They did once do a Battle of the Belts with no title matches and a non-title match on Battle of the Belts, several times actually. So hopefully we actually have a title match on Title Tuesday. And we'll find out next week. At this point in this business, like, I don't have any faith in anything anymore. God.
Maybe we'll have a title showdown or showcase.
Do you realize the best show that I've seen so far this week was the TNA Impact show from frickin' 2005? Think about that. It's crazy. If you watch that show, it's nothing has changed in 20 years in terms of like work. Like if you look at like 1998, you know, WWF and WCW, and compared to 1978, it's like night and day how different everything is. But if you look at 2005 Impact and you compare it to like Dynamite today, the work is exactly the same. There's like 3 ways of just big move, big move, big move, big move. There's destroyers. There's like nothing has changed. It's astonishing to watch. Like Roderick Strong versus AJ Styles was on that TNA show. They would have had the exact same match in 2025. I'm talking the exact same match. It would have been maybe a tiny little bit slower because they're 20 years older. It would have been exactly the same match. And then you had like the Motor City Machine Guns and Petey Williams in a 3-way.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Dude, the match was great. I'm just astounded that like nothing has changed. The style hasn't changed at all in 20 years. I guess if you watch WWE, it probably has. But as far as like, you know, between TNA and AEW, like the state of the art is pretty much exactly the same. I think the only thing you could watch that would be more state of the art was like
Dragon Gate,
is CMLL today or something, some crazy thing that
I bet you
Massacre Dorada's doing.
I bet you Dragon Gate looks exactly the same.
Could
as well.
I mean, it was wild to watch that show. So anyway, we talked about the renaming, so we don't need to get into that anymore. And then I guess we could talk about how poorly Raw did. I'm not going to go into equations or anything. We're just going to talk about the numbers that Netflix announced. 4.5 million viewers actually, hold on a second. Global views. 2.3 million global views, which would be the lowest they've ever reported. The lowest prior to this was September 1st, 2.4 million. So whatever you want to think about the numbers and everything, what Netflix reported, this was the least watched Raw yet. And that was coming off whatever that thing was. Didn't they have a PLE or something? I don't even remember anymore. I honestly can't even keep anything straight anymore. There's just so many shows.
I got some news for you.
What's that?
AEW and DC Comics
Yes.
have announced a new crossover series
Yeah.
that will be released at the New York City Comic Con next week, actually.
A 2-issue comic book event.
Yeah. The AEW stars that have been listed as appearing: Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, Timeless Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale, Orange Cassidy, and Kenny Omega. And they will be joined by DC characters including Aquaman, Batman, Nightwing,
Isn't
Green
that Lyra
Lantern,
Valkyria?
Guy Gardner and John Stewart, the Green Lanterns,
Green
Hawk
Lantern's
Girl.
Guy Gardner. Get it straight.
Zatanna, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. The plot involves AEW and DC comic book stars having to, quote, recover the big galactic belt and prevent a cosmic catastrophe. Is that how my life is going to end? A cosmic catastrophe involving a wrestling belt? Jiminy Christmas. So there you go. Yeah. The Rock was on The Tonight Show talking about the physical transformation. He said it involved 22 prosthetics, and he had to put on over 30 pounds of muscle in his mid-50s.
To become Mark Kerr?
Yeah.
How many prosthetics? What was this guy packing?
22 prosthetics on his face, you numbskull. Said I had to put on weight. I went to McDonald's. Wait a second. He said I had to put on just over 30 pounds of muscle, which, by the way, what you realize is, you have some actors who say, I have to put on weight. I went to McDonald's every day. Mark Kerr had this quality of muscle, fast twist quality of muscle, because he was a freestyle wrestler. I had to still put on this weight and still be able to move like an MMA fighter. I've been working out really hard. I think I may have put on a pound of muscle over the last year, if I was lucky. 30 pounds of muscle this guy put on. 50-something.
I saw people trash-talking The Rock's hitting ability, his striking skills.
Yeah, what'd you think?
In the trailer, and people are going, look at this. They made MMA fighters look so bad. But it's like, if you've ever seen Mark Kerr strike before, I would think what
He
The Rock
should get an
is
Oscar?
doing... Yeah, The Rock is doing more than a reasonable facsimile. Perhaps his striking's even better than Mark Kerr's was in his prime. I can't wait to watch that movie.
Yeah, well, it's coming out
I love
soon.
the original. I can't even tell you how many
Well,
times
the original
I watched.
wasn't even a movie. It was like a documentary. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that still counts as a movie, but...
Nah, it's a documentary. Big difference. By the way, did you hear that Jane Goodall passed away?
No.
Yeah, I was sad to hear that. 91 years old. She actually was a supporter of the possibility of Bigfoot. Did you know that? Jane Goodall.
I've seen Bigfoot. I wrestled him at Defy years ago. He sliced me open with one of his claws.
You're an idiot. Back in a moment with Mr. Thomas.
Right there.
Wrestling Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
I am going to channel the well-known, infamous roast of Bryan and Lance.
Oh my God.
I vaguely remember this.
Lance was a champion in virtually every company he has appeared in. While he did hold the distinction of holding 3 titles, that angle fizzled out faster than his podcast, Killing the Town.
Wow. I now remember this utter disaster of a roast.
Let's get Lance a chair to sit in. And as we do, could we also bring someone up here to show him how to use it? I remember that chair shot. I don't remember who it was on, but
utter silence that this roast was met with.
Tom, at least I was smart enough not to do those chair shots again.
Brian, besides me, there are others who I'm sure dislike you, like Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, but I think you're great, like a guiding light or a father, which is why I'm not surprised when you screw me every week. The best-selling author of The Death of WCW. He had just completed his new book, for which actually Lance Storm wrote the foreword, which is 3 more than most wrestling fans know.
Hideous. Atrocious.
It must be hard when you look so young. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had your grandma's genes. But actually, if the camera panned down, I bet Lance is wearing them. Anyways, let's start the show. Carmelo went for the La Mystica. Andrade went for the Message.
It's actually not the La Mystica. It starts like a La Mystica, but the La Mystica is actually a submission, and he doesn't land in the submission. He just does the whole slam part and then jumps up.
Yeah, the La Mystica is a tilt-a-whirl head scissor into a Fujiwara armbar.
Into a Fujiwara armbar. The La Mystica is not the submission. Do not tell me.
I didn't say that was a submission. I said the La Mystica involves the tilt-a-whirl facebuster into the submission. The whole thing. Why are you so angry?
Well, you just changed what you said live, right?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't land in a submission. He just slams them. So it's not a La Mystica.
I believe that's the actual move.
Okay,
but
whatever. Who cares?
I just hope Editor Sean pulls up the exact clip of you saying La Mystica's a submission and then denying it afterwards.
La Mystica is actually a submission. I didn't say that was a submission.
La Mystic is actually a submission? I didn't say that was a submission.
Editor Sean.
Right, we just dropped off the air right when we were going to get started. Sounds like there's an internet issue. Oh, there it goes again. We'll just wait here. Can't find Mr. Thomas anyway.
We'll just hang out for a while, huh?
Why did all of these disasters start at the same time? Can you hear us on the chat? I think the chat can hear us. All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, we seem to be having some connection issues with Byline.
You're back.
All right, we're back here, everybody. We're going to give this a shot. Still trying to find... Oh, there he is. Let's try this. Everything went wrong, and now everything's going right at the same time. Is this Mr. Thomas?
Sure is, my guy.
Oh, my God. We just had a complete disaster. 2 in a row.
Calamity of errors.
Yeah, one calamity after another.
Technology's letting us down today, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to see us. Actually...
Which is probably better for you.
I think we're just going to have probably your audio here.
That's okay.
We'll put up a photo. We'll make it work. But anyway, hey, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. What's going on out there, man? I'm just here to promote wrestling and live the dream.
Well, you know, you've had a number of different gimmicks, correct?
Correct, yes,
Can you rattle off a few of them? Because we got an idea here.
Blaster McMassive.
My favorite.
Mr. Thomas.
Yep.
I might have been... a Sendai Death Warrior once upon a time, if you look closely enough.
Interesting.
I might have accompanied a Velveteen Dream to the ring once upon a time before he was no longer around. I think that's about it. I think that's where all the gimmicks go.
Have you ever thought, We came up with a great gimmick, and we need a big, strong man to play this character.
I'm all in.
Big Schmaz.
Let's go. I love Big Schmaz.
How has there never been a Big Schmaz?
Big Schmaz, I might have to introduce Big Schmaz at Rad Pro Wrestling. That's a good place to let a new character into the wild.
Just run in and end every match.
Yes.
With the DQ.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
How did we come up with this, Tom? Wasn't this a couple of days ago?
You forgot already, you doofus?
Well, I remember we came up with the name.
We didn't come up with it. I was in the back at a show, and there's a guy, Dave Mazzandi, who was getting ready for a match, and it says the finish, Big Schmaz. And he's going, well, I guess we'll just plan it out when he gets here. I guess we'll just do this when he shows up. And I'm like, who are you waiting for? And he goes, says right here.
Big Brother.
I'm waiting for Big Schmaz.
Hell yeah.
I was astonished at the time that no one has done the gimmick Big Schmaz.
I'm locked in on this, dude. With that being said, a perfect place to introduce a new character would be Rad Pro Wrestling. Forever Rad 96, Saturday, December 6th in Massachusetts. Check out radprowrestling.com. Run by famous guest Max Smashmaster.
Yeah, we want to talk to you about that. So
where in Massachusetts is it?
Amesbury, exactly. Amesbury, Mass. I feel like, Tom, you're testing me. It's at 11 High Street. Amesbury, Massachusetts, 01913. Tickets on sale now while they last.
I think Tom is from Massachusetts, right, Tom?
Yeah, that's why I was.
Right, fair enough. Amesbury.
Yeah,
also, if you're in the New England area, check out New England Pro Wrestling Academy, also run by Max Smashmaster. Always put my guys over.
Yeah, Max Smashmaster's he's a good fella. He could be Big Schmaz. Now that I think about it.
He is Big Schmaz.
Yeah. I think did he win the Overweight Classic?
I think he did.
He did?
Yeah, I think he did, actually.
Yeah. Now,
well, that's nice. You got to give the gimmick away from me. Well, it's been 2 minutes.
Well, we're just saying if you don't want it, like someone's got to take it.
It can be anyone that wears the outfit.
Well, no, like it couldn't be me. I'm far too small.
Actually, it could.
We need
Good if you're on Tom's shoulders.
All right, fine. Now listen, you got a lot coming up here. I want to plug the MLW show first, and then we got some other questions for you. So you've got October 4th, MLW Slaughterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Chamber of Horrors. Is this going to be like the actual? Is there going to be an electric chair?
Of course there's got to be an electric chair inside the steel cage with weapons.
What else is in there besides the electric chair?
I mean, I'll be in there. C.W. Anderson will be in there. The world title will be somewhere thrown up top. Matthew Justice, Mads Kruger, and a mystery opponent or two. Maybe a referee. Hopefully not a camera guy. And hopefully we're all in a big, giant ring.
God, that mystery guy could be Big
Schmaz.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
I don't think it's going to be Big Schmaz, Brian.
It's not going to be Big Schmaz. It's going to be some mediocre-sized dude with tattoos who was here before. Couldn't get his girlfriend re-signed. Puts out stupid shit on the internet. No one's chanting "We want anyone" anymore. So I'm not sure who it is, but whoever it is, they got to go through me to get the world title that I bust my ass for all year to get to this point. But mystery guys can just walk in #1 contender.
Man.
I
fresh off the street.
Bad-mouthing mediocre-sized guys with tattoos. I was going to say, I'm sitting over there on the booth.
Yeah, Tom can't wrestle.
Mr. Tumwell, I would never disrespect you. It's not a man with a golden cane like you.
Hey, if I can give you a little bit of respect, from the last time I saw you in the ring, you were facing Satoshi Kojima in a lightning match. And I don't know how long that match lasted, 6-7 minutes. Crowd was on their feet the entire time. For what it's worth, I thought that was the most impressive showing that I've seen from you. Very often you're in a situation where you're in a tag team match, maybe a multi-man match. We don't get to see you in singles competition, but I thought you looked fantastic against Kojima. And even though you came up short, obviously there's no shame in losing to a legend like him.
Never. No, it was a dream match for me, and thank you, Tom. I appreciate the words. One of the very few feedbacks that I received when I send that video out to the real world was, I love the commentary, because most people just don't watch it with the commentary. From a non-wrestling person, Tom, I know you're on commentary that evening, so I do appreciate it. And yeah, it felt good to be unleashed and given some free reign and not to have to rely on a teammate or two or be involved in a scramble to get a chance to showcase what I can do.
So the MLW World Heavyweight title is on the line here in this Chamber of Horrors. This could be your day.
This is it. This is my chance. Second time number one contender.
Or he could be cooked.
Or you could be electrocuted and killed. That's true.
I could be as good as fried chicken after this one, but I'm not banking on the latter, hopefully.
Now, we were talking about your what other stuff have you been doing of late? You've plugged a few things here, but what's kind of your weekly, monthly schedule?
My weekly, monthly schedule is I'm exclusive to MLW, thankfully. I am under contract. I don't venture out too much unless it's up to that Rad Pro Wrestling to help out Max Master. But I'm living the dream down here in Tampa. I have a small business that I run. I don't have a 9-to-5 anymore, and I kind of just train and wait for wrestling to come back around. I think my schedule's a little light right now. I'm not going to give any specific details, but that could change going into the new year. It's been, a lot of rumor out there that MLW is close to getting a new streaming deal, and that might mean weekly or bi-weekly television. Who knows? So the schedule might go up a little bit, but I'll still always be loyal to MLW.
So do you sort of at this point just kind of feel like I could go out there and do a lot of other matches, but at some point it's like, is it worth getting the extra experience versus how long you've been doing this and how your body feels and everything? Is that kind of where you're at right now?
I mean, yes and no. It depends on the situation. If somebody comes at me with something awesome, like you want to wrestle Filthy Tom when he's back from, who knows where he's hiding from in a cage somewhere, like I'm going to do that. But like, no offense to a lot of wrestling where I'm at. Like I don't want to in front of 25 people, no offense, some other guy who I've never worked with before. It's just kind of not where I'm at this age. And again, with my loyalty to MLW, I try to stick exclusively to that. So it gives my body time to recover to the next one. And I don't want to risk blowing my knees out, doing a, big schmaz somewhere.
No, you don't. Didn't we on the last show, somehow we were confused and thought you were 50?
I am turning 40 years old this year, and for some reason, I have a screenshot, Filthy Tom. If you Google Mr. Thomas MLW age, it not only says that I'm about 26 years old, but it also referenced me as Filthy Tom's little brother. So I'm not sure why AI thinks that. I'm not sure why artificial intelligence thinks that, or that's the summary, but I can confirm to everyone that I was born in the year 1985, and I am indeed 39 years, turning 40 years old. I think the joke last time was not bad for a 50-year-old still doing topes, but
I think last time for some reason we had the information that you were 50. Then it turned out you were 40. Now we hear you're 26.
I think it's Antonio Thomas that's 60.
Oh,
that might be actually true.
I think that's why people are confused.
That poor guy.
I know. Jeez.
Well, we talked about the match that Tom just referenced. I mean, who do you have in MLW? I mean, let's say that you win the title. Who deserves a shot coming up next?
I mean, right out the gate, I think I'd call out Ultimo Guerrero. That's kind of a dream match for me. I mean, first guys first. He should be next one on the list. But I know he just lost the open weight title down in Mexico City to Blue Panther, I believe, Blue Panther Jr. Yeah. So one of those old heads for sure. So I could get a quick one on the way by, and then we'll talk about the Mysticos and Hammerstones of the world after that. I need a good tune-up first, I think.
Yeah, Mystico and Ultimo Guerrero actually, I believe, are facing off in the Opera Cup this Saturday. On that same show, on that same Slaughterhouse show.
What an excellent host Tom Lawler is. What a plug. That is correct. The quarterfinals of the Opera Cup this Saturday in Los Angeles. Tickets while they last.
Tom is a pro. I will give him that. What is your favorite era of wrestling?
Probably, I've been watching a lot of 91, 92 lately, it seems like. There's a lot going on, a lot of good colors. I mean, SummerSlam 91 is probably the best show ever in my eyes. And whatever time...
Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect?
Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, obviously my favorite. Mr. Thomas, Mr. Perfect is definitely an extension from my all-time favorite. But LOD winning the tag titles that night, and then if you flip whatever channel, I know we're not in this right around this like 91 to 94, weird stuff going on in WCW. Rick Rude doing world title runs with Sting. Jake Roberts is over there. There's just a lot of it's a
Chamber of Horrors matches going on.
Yeah, there's Chamber of Horrors, dude.
stuff's crazy. It's just there's a lot to learn in that one moment in time. Earthquake on the other channel. So
what if it's the MLW Halloween Phantom that shows up as the mystery man in the Slaughterhouse match?
I would love that. I would love that. He would not be happy. He thinks I'm talking trash about him right now. It wasn't even him. I'm sorry.
I actually did not know that Mr. Thomas was an homage to Mr. Perfect.
It's an extension. I think it goes, when I was kind of given the label of being a bodyguard, I immediately thought Mr. Hughes. But like Mr. Hughes, Mr. T, Mr. Perfect, all those kind of rolled into one. That's where I come from. And ironically, my cleaning lady called me Mr. Thomas, like accidentally 2 years before I even got a chance with MLW. So I thought it was hilarious. And it just seems like every day someone calls me Mr. Thomas on accident. So.
Where did Blaster McMassive come from? Because that's a name like Big Schmoss, where it's like, that's the most incredible name you could have in professional wrestling.
I know it was taken somewhere. I think Bobby Lashley, when he was in developmental,
he was
like
Blaster Lashley.
Blaster Lashley, and then I think McMassive came. I don't know where McMassive came from, but
probably your size would be my guess.
It's a nice Irish name.
It is Black Irish, baby. You know what's up. So yeah, I was always upset that Max Smash Matzer got the better last name because I didn't seem too Irish. Considering he's from like New England, that seemed like that would be a better fit. But both of us were equally as mad when Flex Rumble Crunch came around the corner.
Right.
Excuse me.
Stand by. I know exactly what he's talking about. Stand by. Back with more Wrestling Observer Live. We did, in fact, by popular demand, watch Ready to Rumble.
The champion is some fat loser.
Yeah, he's a completely talentless, no athletic ability, can't wrestle, broke bum that walked out on his wife and kid.
But he was
he's
over.
The world champion.
In the
movie, the
but that's a microcosm of wrestling, sadly.
Yes.
He feels so bad about drinking this entire slushie that cost $1.26, and he sticks his finger in his asshole and walks up to the clerk.
Lance is dying. How could the movie be so bad?
I'm not going to fault the man for that, of all the things in the movie.
I thought for sure you were going to say you'd done this before.
There's a reason I'm not going to fault the man for that.
I just think with all the porta potties and farting in this, that I think Vince McMahon was a secret producer on this film. Had to have been.
So then we get the Shermanator. He's playing a WCW arcade game. He uses some internet sleuthing to find the personal information of Jimmy King.
He's searching the internet. Can find out anything on here. This movie was so antiquated. Every Nitro Girl is in a Nitro Girl outfit, except for this girl. They had her dance in something totally different.
Brian, like the captain.
So we're so stupid. I got it.
Captain
Yes,
Stavin?
if you're watching this film, you're that stupid. I'm sorry.
But I was also insulted by the fact they hired Michael Buffer to announce the Royal Bash, the fake-ass Royal Bash.
$24 million budget.
Wow.
And probably $500,000 of that went to Michael Buffer. It made 12. You know, we should mention this cage match is the triple-decker Cage of Doom. Everybody buried it. It was horrible. Everybody hated it. And so they decided to make a movie. And what is the final battle? It's another goddamn triple-decker cage match. This would be like in 2010 if like TNA made a movie and the final match was a reverse battle royal.
They throw powder in someone's face, DDP's I think, or somebody's, and the dude just looks and goes, "It doesn't work." It's like, of course, because wrestling's fake and stupid.
Should we just end it there? What a soundbite. There has never been a movie I have watched in my entire life which has made me hate myself more.
Wow.
I'm ashamed that I'm even in the place at 41 years old where I would end up reviewing this movie for money. I would have thought I would have made it out of here by now. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Well, everyone, hopefully we can do this again someday. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here. Filthy Tom Lawler. Very happy today to be joined by Mr. Thomas, who will be competing at MLW Slaughterhouse in a Chamber of Horrors match. C.W. Anderson, Mads Kruger, the champion, Matthew Justice, and mystery. There's a mystery. And tell us all about this, Mr. Thomas. How can we watch this show?
Show will be live on YouTube for those who don't want to be there in person. If you still need tickets, it's MLWLA.com. It'll be at Thunder Studios, which is in the Long Beach section of Los Angeles. Check us out there. Check me out. I'll be there. I'll also be at Rad Pro Wrestling in Amesbury, Massachusetts on December 6th. It just so happens to be sponsored by Script King RX, which is my small business. If you need a discount on prescription drugs, whether you're insured or uninsured, or if you just need your testosterone refilled, check out scriptkingrx.com. That's about it. Follow me on the Instagram. It's at Mocha Traps. On Twitter and X, it's at Mocha Traps. Not really on the TikTok, but hit me up and I'll respond.
Excellent job. So, yes, that is the MLW Slaughterhouse show this coming Saturday in Long Beach, California. So all the information is up at MLWLA.com. All of the information is up there. You can attend live if you're in the area or watch on YouTube. And best
also
of luck.
Bryan, also on BN Sports.
BN Sports, that's
and
right.
And there's a fan festival where you can meet many of the stars of MLW prior to the show on Saturday.
Absolutely. If you want to meet Mystico and Ultimo Guerrero, this is probably your only chance. Matt Riddle will be there, as well as Mads Kruger, all doing autographs and photos.
That's right. All right, well, check it out, everybody. And Mr. Thomas, next time you're on this show, I expect you to be the champion.
I shall.
Yes. I put a lot of pressure on the guests here on this program. But best of luck this weekend. And, of course, we are out of time, everybody. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back later on today. There's an After Dark Radio, 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern on Sports Byline, Wrestling Observer Radio tonight, and a lot more. We'll talk to you next time, Wrestling Observer Live.